Hi, YouTube. Thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I am super excited to be here and to talk about an old Dexter Yeager speech. I hope everyone is having a fantastic weekend so far and you've had a chance to do something fun and relax a bit to unwind from your week. Today, I'm excited for us to not really watch, we're going to listen to like 18 minutes of a Dexter Yeager speech. And if you've watched my past videos, you would know that Dexter Yeager is the past top Amway distributor who made an outrageous amount of money in Amway, not necessarily through recruitment and building an Amway team, but through the Amway tool scam that we've learned about on my channel, where top distributors would open up their own companies where they would charge members of their downline to buy items, to buy like motivational and guidance items like tapes and books to help them in their Amway business. And we've actually looked at a few of those on my channel, like Worldwide Group and what was it, Network 21. And so the scam is still very much alive today. Sam says, "Hi, Heather." Hi, Sam. Thank you for joining. It's great to see you here. Lift Panic says, "Hi, Heather." Hi, Lift Panic. Thank you for coming. I might have explained it too early. I don't think anyone was here. We are going to listen to part of a Dexter Yeager speech. He earned $460 million. That's crazy, Mark. That's crazy. I'm really excited for this. I don't know when when this speech occurred, and I'm skipping the first 4 minutes because it's all kind of like a weird commercial and like you can't really hear it. He seems young, like his voice seems young in this speech. So I'm guessing it might have been in the 70s or the 80s, but then later on in the video, like the picture changes and it's him as like an older man. So I'm not exactly sure when this speech was, but there's lots of culty aspects to this speech, and I'm really excited to listen to it with you guys today. His kids run it. Oh, like his kids run his Amway tool scam company. What's the name of Dexter's company? Also, he has passed away, so let's just remember to be like respectful in the comments. We can be a little bit snarky if we want, but just remember he has passed away. So let's try to be as nice as we can while also holding him accountable to his bad behavior. So I'm excited to listen to part of this speech today, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
I know a guy that was dating a girl back when he was about 16.
And let me know if the audio is okay. I had it up way too loud and it was like blasting, and so I turned it down. And we're just going to like watch the picture on the screen. Like there's nothing to really watch. Mark says, "Rest in peace, Dexter." Yeah, like we can still hold him accountable, but yeah, just like be careful with like how we say things, you know?
Years old. And when he dated girls, he always liked to take them out first class in accordance with his income. And he had a girl he was dating, but she turned to him and said, "My folks would never allow me to marry you. You're nothing but a spendthrift and you'll have nothing ever." And I was that guy. I was that guy. I don't know where that girl is, but I know where this guy is. And I can tell you about Dexter and Bertie living on the alley, broke. Anybody can go down on Cortland Ave in Rome, New York, and they can see how we lived. And it was in a sloppy section. It was a poor section of town. Don't tell me how bad you got it. Tell me how good you're gonna get it.
I have a question. How come in all of these Amway things you'll hear Dexter say and Rich DeVos say, "Oh, nothing good ever came out of Rome, New York"? I don't know anything about the United States. Is there something like inherently inferior about Rome, New York? Like, is it more of like a poor town? I don't really understand. Also, of course, we have to have the quintessential MLM rags to riches story. So they lived in Rome, New York, in a sloppy part of town, and like he didn't let he didn't let things get him down. Like, he just kept pushing on despite his circumstances, and that's how he was able to find huge success in Amway.
Tell me about your problems. Tell me about your dreams. Dreams are the solution to your problems.
Don't tell me about your problems. Tell me about your dreams. Dreams are the solutions to your problems. So that's a great example of Dexter pushing toxic positivity, right? So instead of thinking, oh, well, upline, I'm not making any money. I'm going into debt. My spouse is mad at me. You have to think, okay, well, are you going to be letting down? Are you going to be letting down your family? Because if you stop now, you're not going to be able to achieve your financial goals to be able to take your kids out for fancy holidays. So if you stop, you aren't achieving your dreams, right? You're not going to achieve them. So you just have to focus on your dreams and forget about all of the negative that comes along with being in an MLM. I have a lot to say about this one today. It's a bullshit backstory, right? And I wonder, do a lot of these people make up stories or embellish parts of their stories to make them seem more relatable? I wonder.
Everybody's got problems. Everybody's got challenges. Everybody's got something to overcome. But the joy is overcoming it. How big is your dream tonight? Can you dream?
Everyone has challenges. Everyone has something to overcome that we know, like, just because one person can work their Beachbody business through like their kid being in the hospital and their spouse losing their job doesn't mean that the next person with the same level of stress can also work their business and still function as an adult human, because everyone has different mental capacities and like abilities to function through extreme stress, So we hear that a lot. Well, I could do it and I have more going on than you. So why are you complaining? Why are you saying you don't have the time? I went to college in upstate New York and I've never been to Rome, but I suspect it's just something they like to say when portraying their humble beginnings, right? Right. I feel like most places, at least in Canada, and like where I grew up, most cities, most towns have like a more rough area. And then there's also like a very affluent area as well. And so, yeah, there's crappy areas in most cities, Anything goes in MLM. Yes, exactly. It wants all of you. Yep. Totally true.
Dream big enough? Will you put a commitment behind the dream? Will you make it happen? Things don't just happen. Somebody makes them happen. Don't tell me about the night after night after night after night you've been out there and you've shown the plan and nobody got in and nobody got in and your friends laughed at you and they ridiculed you. It's too late. It's saturated. It'll never happen. It won't work. You're going to listen to the losers or the winners. Onassis, before he died, said if he was dead broke, if he had to work at manual labor, save up all his money, and once a month go to a very nice restaurant where successful people met, where he could sit and listen and pick the crumbs off the table, maybe meet somebody that could tell him something, he would dedicate his life to do it because he knew he would succeed. So many times today, we listen to the losers instead of the winners. There may be 10,000 losers out there to tell you it won't work. Listen to the one winner that says, you can be anything that you choose to be.
So there could be 1,000 losers who tell you it won't work, and then you have to listen to the one person who tells you that it does work. In this case, it would be Dexter, your upline, telling you, don't listen to your spouse, don't listen to your kids. You can find success in Amway if you just do what I say and show the plan 5 to 6 nights a week, which he will tell us soon. He wants us to live in an echo chamber, in my opinion, and to not look at any outside criticisms or data to analyze to help us make an informed decision. We have to only look at data from people who have found success in the company. We hear that a lot from people in Monate nowadays, where they say, like, don't talk to people who have never been in the company or who tried to be in Monate and failed. Talk to the people who are making millions of dollars and who are whatever senior executive directors, and listen to them. Listen to the people who found success, because they don't want you to have access to like conflicting pieces of information, because then that would start to get really confusing. Sam asked, is he a pastor? No, he is not. But Dexter, he really had a big religious influence in his Amway business, and he brings up biblical verses, and a lot of his talks have really strong religious undertones to them. And then before we get back to this, they look so cute. Look how young they look. And yeah, like I think he says later they got married when she was 17, which is crazy, but they look very cute. That's a cute picture. Sounds like one, right? And Bill, do you guys remember Bill Britt, that video? He sounds just like a pastor too.
The Bible says, as a man believeth in his heart, so is he. In other words, the facts don't count.
Sir, the facts don't count? What do you mean? Maybe I should let him talk and finish his thought.
I was told over and over and over and over throughout my life that, Dexter, you blew it. You don't have a college education. You're not going any place. You won't be anything. Most people that go into the doctors or be the dentist or to be a lawyer, they had some hero out there. And they figured, boy, if I could be a doctor, if I could be a dentist, if I could be a lawyer, I could be something. And they reached and they strived for that level, only to find out once they got there the problems and the challenges of that level of life, and that they still hadn't made it.
So he's not really explaining what he meant by like the facts don't matter, but maybe he's saying like forget about like what people are telling you, forget about the fact that it could be oversaturated, which we know all MLMs will become saturated at some point, but we just have to focus on our dream and like positive manifestation and sacrificing what we need to sacrifice in order to achieve our dream and have financial freedom for our family. He's talking about how a lot of people want to become a doctor or a lawyer, but then they don't understand what kind of challenges could come with that once they get to that level in their career. And yes, that's true. Like to be a doctor, I'm sure it's very, very stressful. But I feel like when you're going through the process of becoming one, like you actually are aware of like the job requirements, and you will probably know that you're not going to have much of a work-life balance for a good chunk of your career, and you are willing to sacrifice that because like you're helping people, and also because you are getting compensated fairly for your time. And there is value. He's going to talk later about education. But there is value in education, in getting a university or college degree, even if you have debt, or even if you aren't able to get a job related to your studies, because you learn a lot of important life skills in university. You learn about writing, about like working with other people, problem solving, working independently, being a team player. And a lot of those skills are transferable to different careers, even if it's not related to your studies. Facts carry more weight than lies to you by MLM. Okay, wait. Facts carry more weight than lies fed to you by MLM Huns. Yeah. And that's a good point, Sam. We need to remember motive, and he's telling us not to listen to the facts because at this time he wanted us to stay as a member of his downline and continuing to purchase the tools that his Amway tool scam company produced.
I don't find many super rich kids whose parents turned and said, son, if you don't go to college, you'll never make it. Oh, some may, but they're not the ones that normally made the big success in life themselves. Once you know who you are, you quit getting hung up on education, and you start getting hung up on experience. Experience is the key that divides the winners from the losers. It's not what somebody else says can happen. It's what you know can happen by being out there, hanging around winners instead of losers. I'll tell you, if I had
hanging around winners instead of losers. So to Dexter, anyone who did not outrightly support you in your Amway business was a dream stealer, and they don't care about you, and we need to separate ourselves from those negative influences. And we hear this kind of thing echoed constantly in MLM world today, where you are the the sum, is that what it is? Sum or average of the 5 people you hang around with. And you need to be around people who push you in your business and who want you to find greater levels of success. And you also need to be careful with the people you surround yourself with, because if you let certain people into your life, they could be negative towards your business and want you to leave and be a negative influence. And you need to cut those toxic people out of your life. Although those toxic people could be like your mom and your spouse.
The opportunity going back when I first got in this business to spend any amount of time with anybody that was building it, I would. I'd pay whatever price. I'd drive whatever distance. I'd go wherever I had to go to learn. Make a decision tonight that you're going to make it. See, the dream's all that counts.
So he would pay any amount of money to get around successful people and learn, right? And so that means I feel like that would translate to members of his downline being strongly encouraged to go to all of the Dexter Yeager seminars and conferences and buy all of the supplies, all of the tools that are there. And we saw in the Amway Circa 1983 Part 2 video where a woman was like, I went to all the conferences, I bought all the books and all the tapes, and I still went home and lost money every single month. Because people in MLMs, in Amway specifically, really like to say that you didn't make any money, you failed because you didn't do what we told you to do and you didn't sacrifice. But then that little video I showed was really good at showing the reality. Like we saw Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel sit there and say, like, of course people fail, they don't do what we tell them to do. And then it cut right to a woman saying, like, I did exactly what I was told and I still went into significant debt.
Counts the dream. Doesn't make any difference if you're short and fat. Doesn't make any difference if you're tall and skinny. Don't make any difference if you're short and skinny or tall and fat. Doesn't make any difference if you're 25 or 45. Doesn't make any difference if you're 95. Doesn't make any difference if you're educated. We can work with you. Doesn't make any difference if you're uneducated. We can make you educated with the right education. Not from a bunch of college professors who are going to tell you how to stay broke like they are. You got to believe.
So I wonder where the disdain for college education came from when we see Monet and Arbonne. People talk about how college is the real scam and MLM isn't, because they expect people who are 18 years old to magically know what they want to do for the rest of their lives. And these kids who go into college are not properly educated about how significant student loans are and how long it's going to take them to pay back all their loans. And therefore, like, we should not be participating in such a scam, and we will find more financial success if we decide to join our MLM. I love hearing really common MLM sayings being perfectly mirrored, like being directly referenced to what Dexter Yeager has said in the past. I did not explain that clearly.
If you can be a better you, this is right now the worst position that you should ever be in. I won't ever be in any worse financial position than I am in now. How about you? Some people laugh and they say, you got financial problems? No, but I'll never be as bad off as I am now. You understand that? It gets better every year.
I kind of understand. So, like, he's in a bad financial position because you can never just be content with where you are, and he's going to be in a better financial position next year. So he'll never be as bad off as he is this year, right? So even though Ray in our last video told us that we can't be in a company that always requires you to want to get to the next level because that's toxic and people want to leave, you need to be in a company that values your desires and where you want to be rank-wise and income-wise. And we know that's not the reality. And in every MLM ever, you always have to push to the next rank and the next income milestone.
As I tell you over and over and over and over, today's the first day of the rest of your life. I believe that myself. I know today's the first day of the rest of my life. You ain't seen nothing yet, baby. The best is yet to come. But you know,
Mark just said he earned $10 million a year. Interesting. I wonder how much of that came from his Amway business compared to his Amway tool scam business, because we've learned on this channel that the high up people, the guys at the very top, they became rich through their tools. Nothing like joining an MLM at 18 to ruin your credibility in the eyes of future employers, right? And that's so sad. I don't remember, months and months ago, I did a quick video on a 22-year-old woman who was recruited into Savvy, and it was just so sad. And I named it like how MLM targets new graduates or something. And it's really like they preyed on her desire to be like a fully functioning adult after college and wanting to be independent financially and like have a purpose. And I think that's what makes young people just coming out of college really, really vulnerable, because it's a really insecure time in your life, and the job hunt when you're 22 is really, really hard, because you may have like the theoretical background that you learned in school, but you don't have any actual true hands-on work experience yet. He does meetings till 2 a.m. Wow. Mark, when you were in Amway, did you ever see Dexter Yager speak? If so, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'll tell you, if you'd only believe as much in you as I believe in you, you'd be passing me so fast it isn't funny.
He doesn't believe in you. He just wants you to stay in for as long as possible so you continue to purchase products so he gets paid off of that, or you purchase his tools.
Potential is there, as big as a dream is. You know, I go back to my hometown in Rome, New York, and I see people that don't believe they can make it. And as long as they don't believe it, they're going to have a harder time. But when they start believing it, they'll do it 6 times a week. What's the difference between Dexter Yager and somebody else from Rome, New York, or Utica, New York, or Pennsylvania, or Maryland, or any place else? Only difference is I got belief. I got faith. And I'm willing to step out on faith time after time after time after time. I've only got 30 days a month, the same as anybody else. I have no more days than anybody else. It's just making my days count. It's making my days count, and I don't care what your name is. You can do it. You can do it. It don't make any difference what your name is. What's your pin gonna be? Diamond.
You know, that's like the stuff of my nightmares, someone just being like, diamond, in my ear. Like, that's terrifying. So we hear excuse me, we hear this a lot in MLM speak now. Like Christine Dwyer or Lindsay Matway at the top of Beachbody say, like, I'm at the top because I have faith and I love what I do, and people are drawn to that energy and want to do this business with me because of that. But there's never an acknowledgement of your freaking privilege. I feel like I say this all the time. He got in like 7 years after Amway was open, and he was in for like 40 years or something. Like, of course he's going to be at the top. Of course he is. And you can have all the faith in the world. You can go to all of the Amway conferences and buy all the freaking tools from the scam-ass companies, and you're not going to find the success that Dex and Birdie had. It's just impossible, especially now that everyone knows that Amway is the biggest scam, the biggest MLM scam.
Believe!
Because it's literally a scam within a scam. You have the MLM scam aspect, the MLM pyramid, and then you have the whole tool scam aspect that is even bigger and an even bigger beast than the recruitment pyramid-based structure, you know?
Even Diamond. It's only 6 good people. It's only 6 good people. Just 6 good people. You gotta believe if a Dexter Yager can come out of a town like Rome, New York, that somebody else can come out of that town. And there can be 1,000 more out of that state. And there can be so many thousands more out of your town, your city, your state. You just gotta decide to lead. You either lead, follow, or get out of the way. Lead, follow, or get out of the way to let somebody.
So he said Diamond is only 6 people, 6 good people. We hear that in Beachbody too, with the coveted Diamond spot, where it's just 12 people and 4 of those people aren't even your people. So you just need 8 people, and then you need 2 people to want to build some kind of team underneath them, and then you can hit the coveted Diamond spot. So a lot of what he said here is like perfectly mirrored into like everyday Beachbody speak.
Somebody else lead. Lead, and follow a leader. Make up your mind you're going to make it happen. That today is your day. Yes, that you can do it. Believe that God didn't make any junk. And when he made you, he made the best. But we got to refine it. You got to be like a piece of coal. You got to go under a little bit of pressure. And then a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure. And then you'll become a fine gem of a diamond. And when you're a diamond, people walk across the stage and they all look at you. And they think you were always that way. And you're always fighting to tell them how you were, and they never believe it. And isn't it funny when you're a diamond and you're rich and you're successful, nobody wants to believe how broke you were. Nobody wants to believe how little faith you had, how scared you were to talk to 2 or 3 people. They say you were always that way. He was a born leader. Isn't it funny?
We hear that a lot nowadays where people at the top of Beachbody will be like, oh, well, I started in the same spot you did. I started with 100 Instagram followers and look where I am now. I had this horrible rags to riches story where I couldn't afford to buy food or diapers. And now I'm so blessed that I don't even need to think about income, think about my credit card when I'm at the store, and I can just buy whatever I want. He said that God makes us in a specific way, and he doesn't make any mistakes. And I think that's a way to obviously prey on people's Christian belief systems and people's desire to do what they think God wants them to do, and to make them think that they're in the right place at the right time with their MLM and God wants them to be there. And we've seen this a lot on anti-MLM content on YouTube where spirituality, religion is a huge part of people's identity. And if people feel like they can connect with others of a similar faith and similar moral and ethical backgrounds, then they are more likely to stay in this group.
To be reborn again somewhere along the way. He had to get that faith. He had to get that guts. He had to get that drive. I was a born loser that decided to be a born winner. I had to be reborn again. I had to be reborn in my beliefs and reborn in my faith and reborn in my drive and my desires. Because the background I was brought up in is, hey, you ain't doing too bad. Remember for who you are. How many of you were brought up that way? How many of you were told, be happy where you are, but you weren't happy. You couldn't be happy. You didn't want to be happy. You wanted more. You'd say, what makes them so much better than me? How come they're so blessed and I'm not? We shower ourselves with our own blessings. We got to get our dream up. The Bible says a man without vision will perish. In other words, a man without a dream is dead. Let's come to life. Let's get a dream. Let's make it happen for us, for our friends, for our loved ones, for the ones that we can reach out and touch. Say, you can do it. You can do it. Say, I know you can do it, but you got to get your commitment and your effort up as high as your dream. Don't dream the impossible dream, because
get your commitment and effort up as high as your dreams. Of course, there's always something wrong with us. I've said this 1,000 times. So say we have this dream of being able to stay home with our new baby, right? And then we automatically our effort and our commitment does not match that level of dream, and it's our fault, and we're not doing what we need to do. But I've said this 1,000 times. That's a really not quantifiable thing to judge someone's success on, and there's no way to prove if they have the correct level of commitment. And there's a really big bait and switch where you're recruited into these companies by saying that you can have time freedom, you can work this in pockets of time throughout your day. And then when you actually try to work it in pockets of time throughout your day, you're told that you're just making it a hobby. And then of course you're not going to find success because you're not committed and you're not willing to sacrifice. But then it's but Upline, Miss Upline, you told me that I could spend all my time with my kids, and I want to go spend time with my kids. So why are you shaming me for wanting to go to a freaking baseball practice? It's just, I'm very, very, very misleading bait and switch, I think. This is just gross. Yep, for sure. Just went from bad to worse with the spiritual manipulation. And I think Sam up above said that, wondering if he's a pastor. The first ever Amway video I did, I think the person's oh, is religion a big part of Amway, right? And then Dexter said, it's a big part of my Amway. So he really prided himself on bringing his religious beliefs and his religious practices into majority of his speeches.
It will be impossible if you don't put effort behind it. But dream the possible dream, because you're going to put effort behind it. You're going to believe. You're going to pour it on. You're going to walk where others wouldn't walk. This is a decade of the diamonds. Diamond, 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 diamond. Can you believe diamond? Tomorrow morning when you get up, tonight when you go to bed, tomorrow when you go to talk to somebody, Monday when you go to talk to somebody, Tuesday when you go to talk to somebody, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday when you go to talk to somebody. I want your heart to beat diamond, 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 diamond. Have the heartbeat of a diamond, 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 diamond. Diamond, 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 diamond. Why not?
So all Dex had to do was sit there and yell out a rank, an Amway rank over and over again, and then a whole stadium full of people would just scream and clap and cheer, and like we can't see them unfortunately, but they probably had a really significant emotional response to this man screaming out a rank over and over again to inspire them. And I could imagine if you're in this group where everyone idolizes this man and idolizes his success, and then he's screaming that you have the ability to become diamond if you just believe in yourself and your commitment and your effort matches your dreams, and then you can find his level of success, and then he starts screaming at you, and then I could just imagine really being swept up in the emotions and believing myself that I can do it. However, I do think we have to remember motive, right? Like he doesn't want us to get to diamond because that means we're going to be financially stable. He wants us to get to diamond because that means his rank is more secure and he gets more money. Just like in Beachbody, if you get to diamond, then that could mean that your upline goes from premier to elite or gets access to a whole nother bonus based on recruitment. So let's always remember motive. And there's not actually a financial benefit for us getting to diamond in Amway. Probably, I'm just guessing. I have not looked at the income disclosure or anything. Looks like my face is behind what I'm saying, so I'm sorry about that. I know he's deceased and no disrespect, but he sounds like he stayed at the bar too long. Yeah, totally. Like we're allowed to critique him. Don't worry about that. I just wanted us to remember that he is passed away. But yeah, totally. Embedded command? Mark, do you mean embedded commands? Like he's through his actions, he's encouraging other people to react in a specific way. Is that what you mean?
I believe in you. Diamond! You can be a diamond. Who's going to be a diamond? Me. What? Diamond. Who? Me. What? Diamond. Who? Me. What? Diamond. The Bible tells us what we confess, we possess. What we confess, we possess. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So instead of giving us actual tangible items that we can take home and implement in order to become diamond and fully secure his rank, he is just yelling empty platitudes at us that really prey on our emotions and prey on our desire to be accepted by Dexter and want to be part of his inner circle, and we want him to believe in us because we idolize him. So it's easier to to connect to people in this kind of environment with empty platitudes and emotional buzzwords and sayings instead of actually being like, yo, so you want to get to diamond? Here are some tangible business activities that you can take home right now to complete that may help you get to diamond. Now, we know it's very, very rare for MLMs to actually provide true, tangible training. And it's always these buzzwords that, in my opinion, are meant to brainwash those in the audience, make them feel emotional and connected to a higher purpose. And that's more than just selling like home products. Amway's higher purpose is to help others become financially free and to be part of the free enterprise system. So we are all connected to that higher purpose instead of realizing we're just selling like home products and we're recruiting others to also sell products and recruit others. It's for manipulation. Oh, yeah, totally. I wish we could see what was happening here and see if there's like 10,000 people all screaming and clapping. And he's probably just sitting there, like getting his ego stroked a little bit and probably thinking, like, I'm amazing. I have these 10,000 people eating out of the palm of my hand. I don't actually have to say anything. And they'll just take everything I say at face value, not analyze anything, and just go back and be really dedicated and excited and have like a fire lit in their belly, which always happens after these MLM conferences. It always happens where you might be feeling like you might be in a business plateau. You might not be recruiting anyone. You might be feeling down on yourself. You go to these, you get a fire lit in your belly, you get excited, you get ready to go, and then you go back and you try to recruit and you just work constantly because you have the high of just being around 10,000 other people who are driven by the same purpose to help others.
Success. Success is just a decision away. But you've got to make the decision. You got to make the decision. The man believeth in his heart, so is he. So is he. So is he. Believe tonight. Listen to the winners. Every person becomes a winner by choice. It's not an accident that I'm up here. I chose to be a diamond. I chose to be a double. I chose to be a triple. I'm here on purpose. You're here on purpose. Each and every person found some excuse why they couldn't come. But you came anyways. You came anyways. By choice. By choice. And you become a diamond by choice. You become a leader by choice. There were times when I saw so many sharper people than me. They're better looking. They're better standing. They're smoother in their appearance. They're smoother in their talking. They had larger words, bigger vocabularies, but they didn't have bigger dreams. And they weren't willing to put out more effort. Diamond is not an accident. Diamond is a decision. It's a commitment. It's a commitment. And it's a commitment to you and your wife and to your kids and to a lifestyle and to thousands of other people. We have so many people.
Diamond is a commitment to you and your lifestyle and your family and to thousands of other people. It is a choice, of course. Like, we have to make the decision to go diamond, even though we know an MLM business, our success of our MLM business has nothing to do with us. It's about that has something to do with us. We need to be able to recruit people, but if those people that we recruit don't also recruit other people and meet their requirements, then we aren't going to find success. We're not going to get to diamond. So it's out of our control what those people do unless we force them, unless we harass them and pressure them to constantly purchase and sign up all of their friends and family and their loved ones. It's not a choice. Those of you who've been around for a while might have seen my How to Survive Your Diamond Qual video, where a woman said that you have to have people like on the sidelines ready to jump in, ready to purchase, ready to become her new Emerald coach if in case someone else falls off in that 6 weeks. once you hit diamond and then you have to hold it for 6 weeks to be a lifetime diamond, you have to be ready to call in favors with your friends and family and harass people in order to stay active so you don't lose your rank. It's not a choice unless you're ready to harass your friends and family and do unethical and, in my opinion, immoral actions in order to meet your goals. Where's my mouse? This truly does get creepier and creepier, right? Right? Yeah, he's creeping me out. I totally agree, RK.
People that are educated and educated and educated to the point they don't even think anymore. Thank God I don't have an education. I got a master's degree and a PhD in life. It's amazing. When I was dead broke, they laughed at me because I was dumb and uneducated. Today I sit on college boards. I sit on bank boards, travel agency boards, ministry boards, TV boards. I get to sit on the president's council on this and all kinds.
So Sam has an interesting thing to say. My one and only brush with Amway was in the 90s. I estimate the cost for the starter kit and tools would be at least 5,000 UK pounds. I'm not from the UK. I feel like that's a lot of money. I feel like that'd be a lot for any like average person in the UK, right? In the 90s. Let me know if it's not, but that's really interesting that I feel like we've all like come across Amway at some point in our lives and we all have like some kind of connection to it, even if it's just like one of our friends was selling Amway or like someone we knew was like once an Amway distributor. Amway is a beast.
It's a junk that a lot of those educated people would like to get, but they haven't succeeded. Nobody wants them to sit on something that important because they don't qualify with what they've done in life. It's amazing how many people are so educated but yet so stupid. In this, we teach what life is all about. We teach people to be better parents. We teach our kids to be better adults, to reach out, to believe in God, to believe in themselves, to believe in their fellow man, that this isn't a rotten earth, that this is a fantastic world.
So they teach us how to become better parents and how to teach our children to become better humans. And they can educate us, like they can provide us with the right education in order for us to succeed in life. And like we should not go to like your traditional university or colleges because it is just it's a scam and they're not going to teach you the right things. And he does not have a college education, but look at him now. Like he's at the top of Amway and he sits on all these fancy boards and does all these fancy things. And he's just an average guy from Rome, New York, who doesn't have like a fancy vocabulary, like not extremely good looking, didn't have the best clothes, didn't have the best presence. He was pretty short, right? Like he wasn't your traditional man who like his presence just takes over the whole room and like people just want to stop and listen to him, right? So this average person from Rome, New York is able to captivate the attention of 10,000 people 5 to 6 nights a week, you know? So it's just a way to show like, look, I'm average, I'm normal, and I could do this, so that means you can do it too. It was very, very expensive for just the basics. Yeah. Totally. We're almost done.
You and I don't have to go down the tube, but we are the hope of everybody else not going down the tube. That we don't have to believe, like so many educated people believe, that there are winners and losers, and that's the way they're created. We're all created winners, but some choose to be a loser. And all you got to do is sit in a few living rooms night after night, and you'll know that. Because you'll see people that got more going for them than you do, but they chose to lose. And they say, well, you're lucky. Lucky heck, man, I made a decision. I poured out from my inner soul. I believed when nobody else believed. They say, oh, he got in at the right time. And you know, when I got in, it was saturated. And when you got in, you know it was too late. But you know, 5 years from now, all your friends.
So people would say and be like, you're lucky, you got in early, now it's saturated. He's like, no, it's not saturated. But again, they never acknowledged their privilege that he was in, what was it, like in the 50s, 60s? Like 7 years after it was open or something. And he was in early, is a white heterosexual male, right? He was automatically privileged because of that. People at that time were more likely to listen to him. He was able to have close relationships with the founders very, very quickly, which puts you at an advantage. He was, Mark, please correct me if I'm wrong here. Like, didn't he start the tool scam? Like, wasn't his company the first tool scam company in Amway, or at least one of the first? And it's really misleading. Oh my God, my face is not matching my words. That's weird. It's really misleading where they make it seem like all of his wealth comes from his Amway team when like a lot of it came from the tool scam companies. I'm distracted by my delayed phase. At the time, I could buy a decent car for 1,000 UK pounds, and you said the starter kit was 5,000. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Some choose to be a loser. Yeah, and he said before that people who are poor because they don't want to change their situation and they're not willing to sacrifice to make those changes. And we hear that all the time now, like, you're poor because you're lazy, MLM people will say, and you're poor because you're not willing to make the changes to not be poor. No acknowledgement that certain people may have a harder time finding a good job, that people may experience racism when trying to find a good job, or sexism, or like if someone needs to be is a single parent and has like some small kids, like they can't necessarily go back to school because like where are they going to find the money for a babysitter or for like daycare, and like they still need to work to bring in money, and there's no acknowledgement of other circumstances that may make it harder for someone to change their financial situation.
Friends will be saying, if I got in when you got in. But if they'd get in 5 years from now, 5 years later, their friends would all say, if I got in when you got in. It's just such a unique situation. It's such a unique business. It'll be going when you and I are dead. Our organizations will continue. The incomes onto the families. Be if we die young or if we die at 99 or 199. The business will continue for the generations that follow. It's up to you and I to make it happen. It's our decision. It's our decision. Make your decision tonight that you're going to be a diamond, that you're going to make it happen, that you're not going to let somebody steal your dreams, that you can do it, that the best is yet to come, that you're the best of the best.
The best is yet to come. So you cannot quit now, even though you think you're losing money and you feel like you're being mistreated. You have to stick it out because your dreams are just over there, right? We hear this a lot in Beachbody. Your dreams are just over that hill, and you need to give yourself the right amount of time in order to achieve your dreams. And the only way that you fail is if you quit. So just never quit, and then you won't fail. Mark said he was one of the first, related to my question as to whether Dexter Yager's tool scam company was the first one. So he was among the first. So he tapped into that new market of scamming the Amway distributors twice,
That you'll be at the top, that today is your day. That when you go back next week, you're going to start 5 and 6 nights a week. 5 and 6 nights a week.
What about time freedom? Why are we showing the plan 5 to 6 nights a week? Why can't we work it in pockets of our time? Why can't we just hang out with our kids when we feel like it? Why does it need to be so much time?
Week. That's what winners do. 5 and 6 nights a week. 5 and 6 nights a week. 5 and 6 nights a week. I don't care if you talk to 1,000 losers. 5 and 6 nights a week. You'll find your 6, you'll find 8, you'll find 10. 5 and 6 nights a week. Decide you're going to make it happen doing it 5 and 6 nights a week. That's all it takes is 5 and 6 nights a week. You want to succeed? It's 5 and 6 nights a week. Success is a habit. 5 and 6 nights a week. That's all it takes to succeed is developing a habit. Develop a 5 and 6 nights a week habit. 5 and 6 nights a week. Freedom. 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 It's a heartbeat. It's a heartbeat. It's a heartbeat, isn't it? Creates diamond, creates freedom, creates diamond, creates freedom. 5 and 6 nights a week will get you anything you want in life. 5 and 6 nights a week. It's a heartbeat, it's a heartbeat, it's a habit, it's a heartbeat, it's a habit. Heartbeat, heartbeat, get the heartbeat for freedom. Diamond, 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 diamond. God bless y'all. Love you.
So yeah, that was oh crap. So yeah, that was Dexter. I don't know what year that was in. So I wonder why he was saying 5 and 6 nights a week in like that same tone. It can just be like, yo, you gotta share the plan 5 to 6 nights a week. He said it in like the with the exact same inflection and then was like yelling other words in the middle, like freedom. It's a decision. And I don't know. Do you think that's like is that like a brainwashing technique to like say things in the same cadence over and over and over again while throwing out certain words too? Like it just seems really sketchy, really creepy, and it felt like we're just listening to like Jim Jones or something and like listening to him talk to his cult followers, you know? It's just so creepy, so culty and brainwashy, like RK just said. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm glad you guys agree with me. Okay. I missed some comments. Okay. RK says, I'd take being a loser over being in an MLM. Thanks. Yeah, if me knowing that the MLM business structure is a scam makes me a loser, I would prefer to be a loser, you know? He's very creepy. I agree, Sam. I agree. That was pretty intense, right? Right? Ah. Oh my God, stop. I agree, Lift Panic. I agree. Brainwashing, right? Right? Do you guys agree about like him saying 5 to 6 nights a week in the same cadence? Oh, that's so creepy. He was frightening at the end. Yes, Jim Jones. Yeah. And anyone who's been in Amway and saw Dexter Yeager or saw Bill Britt speak, like did they speak like this near the end of their Amway careers? Because I know this is how they were in like the 70s and the 80s from what we've seen on this channel, but I just wonder if this is like common in Amway speeches now when with the top distributors in Amway. Like were they still this religiously charged cult-like environments where people would chant and repeat things and clap and scream when there's no actual real substance being shared? Look up NLP people. I think I've seen people do videos on that. I would love Julie Joe to do a video on Dexter's like more religious speeches, and I'd like to hear her take on that as someone who's really well educated in religion. I think she would make a great video on one of Dexter's speeches. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you to Mark and Sam and Lift Panic and RK. Did I miss anyone? For all the people who commented live, it was really fun to have some people watch live and comment and chat. And I'm going to go live again tomorrow. I don't remember what time, but I'm going to go live tomorrow and we're going to do another Ray live stream. I'm really excited to talk about Ray Higdon again. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and you have a good rest of your Saturday. And thank you for catching it live. Bye.